I would like to introduce you all to Auntie Melita Orcha. She is a member of the Stolen Wages Working Group, a group of elders fighting to recover their stolen wages in Queensland. And this group has been an important inspiration for this performance.
I would like to acknowledge the Yagara and Turrbal people who are the traditional custodian of this land. I would like to pay respect to the elders, both past and present, and the Aboriginal people, whichever Aboriginal nation they come from. Thank you for your attention, and please have a nice evening. Thank you very much.
And he said, if you want to wear slacks, then you must wear a jacket which covers necessary regions.
For team meetings at work, I'm always asked to bring morning tea. Not because I can bake, because I can't bake. It's because I'm the only girl.
My idea was ignored, only to be repeated 5 minutes later by a male colleague, and everyone applauded.
And then she said, now that you've got the job, don't ruin it by going and getting pregnant.
He told me I was all right for a girl.
Any technical questions were always directed to my male assistant.
And next he says, this overseas consultancy is going to look so good on your CV that we were thinking you probably wouldn't mind if we didn't actually pay you for doing it.
He said I had to wear a very short skirt.
She said she was surprised I got the job, considering I was at the right age to have children.
She said that their clients insisted that the women wear skirts.
They told me I had to wear a frilly apron at work, and so I asked if the men had to wear it too, and they thought I was joking.
And he looked me up and down and said, you know, you really would look much better with makeup.
They told me I speak very, very well, and I don't need a sign language interpreter. But I said to them, are you happy to learn sign language so I can understand you?
When the executives came to our team meeting, they shook everyone's hand except mine. I was the only woman.
And so then he told me that the job involved a lot of physical labour. And I wondered if he made the same observation to the men that he interviewed.
They told me I needed to get one of the guys to help me move that.
The director said, I'm going to make you project manager. This project needs a feminine touch.
And they asked whether I planned on getting married or having children anytime soon.
I told the boss I was going to get married. She said, you know, you'll have to resign.
It took a while, but the delivery guys at work have finally learnt I can lift everything that they can.
After the first baby, they all said, so when's the second one?
Miss or Mrs. What has my marital status got to do with my ability to do this job? He asked if I was sure I was comfortable working alone with challenging clients, you know, being a woman and all.
I wanted to do Shave for a Cure, and they told me I couldn't cut my hair shorter than the boys.
When the dignitaries walked down the line, they shook everyone's hand except for me. Because I wore a dress, they assumed I was the secretary. I was actually the CEO.
He reminded me of the challenge of being a young, non-white woman, and I thought, thanks for highlighting my otherness. Well, challenge accepted.
I was part of the first generation of women to have it all. To work and have a family was the norm for us, not the exception. We reached adulthood in the late 1960s with the world on the cusp of change. We wanted a fairer, more just world for women, for everyone. One wrong move and we'd fall. We had to run faster than the men just to keep up, but many of us lost something in the balance. Ourselves. Scarlet liquid covered the floor, spread like lava, flowed forever, under the fridge and stove, into crevices and corners, standing in the middle, 2 children, too stunned to move. It was the weary end of a long working day. I just picked up the kids, from school and childcare on my way home from work. As I was bringing the tired toddler and shopping up the stairs, I could hear the bickering, then the shattering of glass.
I haven't worked in hospitals for more than 20 years, but I am just as involved in caring about and for people as I was when I did. A natural extension of the role that women perform anyway. So many of us were highly offended in later years. Emotion is seen by some as a female thing, something we should now be keeping under wraps, lest it lessen the image and stature of the profession. Nonsense. The passion to care, to make things better, to lessen pain and alleviate suffering is what nursing is all about. And although I don't work formally with the physically sick now, once my kind of nurse, always a nurse. Nursing was perceived as low-skilled. I am proud of the kind of nurse I was and still am. But suffering is real. It doesn't go away until someone who can does something to alleviate it. Often, I've been that person.
Did you know that Aboriginal workers had their wages held in trust by the Queensland government that were never paid to them? Did you know that the state officers kept detailed records of all the monies withheld? Do you think your wages would be stolen? Have you heard of the stolen wages?
Yes. My nana is a Gajala Kabulba woman from Charters Towers in northern Queensland. She was sent to work when she was 14 years old. For this, she was paid 15 shillings a week. She was never given cash. She often saw the policemen changing people's forms and pocketing their money. It was also common knowledge that in Charters Towers, the hospital was built for money from these Aboriginal workers' accounts. When my nana told me, she just shrugged and she said that that was the way things were. And that's the hardest part.
Did you know that I had to write business cases just to make my job accessible?
Just recently, they confirmed a full day meeting for the next day. How am I supposed to organise an interpreter for tomorrow's meeting? If there's no interpreter, I can't go to the meeting. I love going to meetings and meeting with people and discussing issues and finding resolutions to those issues and giving ideas to help those issues be overcome. I love my job.